All right, welcome back to another SAT video cycles. And in today's video, we're going to start the next batch of SAT videos, which is designed for October SAT exam. Just last week, there was a September SAT exam, and the next exam is less than a month away. So what we're going to do is we're going to practice on a daily basis so we can get ready for the October SAT exam. Hopefully, you'll either improve your score or if it's your first time, you'll do good. Okay, so what I decided to do is for the next however many days we have left till October, I think it's around 20 days, I broke down the SAT topics into singular subtopics, and every day I'll be sharing 9 questions, 3 easy, 3 medium, and 3 difficult, and I'll be working through them, and I advise you can join me, practice with me, and if you want to test yourself, make sure you pause the video before each question and then try it for yourself, and then check out my solution. So roughly, you can think of it as a 1 minute per question. It will take you 10-15 minutes. Probably with the video, it might take you not more than 30 minutes to go through the whole thing, and hopefully this will be a good, nice little extra practice for you alongside your main preparation for the exam. With that being said, I'm going to jump into the first topic, which is going to be part of algebra, and it's going to be linear equations in one variable. Okay, I know some of you may find it easy. If it's easy, you can work through them very quickly, right? 10, 15, 20 seconds, and then jump into the next one. Again, first 3 easy, 3 medium, and 3 difficult. I'll put chapters there so you can jump through them if you need to. All right, first question. If 2x plus 3 is equal to 9, what is the value of 6x minus 1? Now, the reason I chose this question, obviously it's an easy question, but usually when it's a multiple choice question, people tend to make a mistake of finding x and putting it as an answer, because usually x actually will be in the list of answers. But you always have to be careful of what the question is actually looking for. In this case, 6x minus 1. So 2x plus 3 is equal to 9, which means we can subtract 3 from both sides. 2x is going to be 6 and x is going to be 3, but we're not done, because we're looking for 6x minus 1. So 6x minus 1 is now going to be 6 times 3 minus 1, and that's going to be 18 minus 1, which is 17. If 4x minus 28 is equal to negative 24, what is the value of x minus 7? Again, it's a similar type of question. We're looking for not x minus 7. Now, there's 2 ways you can handle this. You can do the way we just did, which is 4x, add 28 to both sides, is going to be equal to, so negative 24 plus 28. So 4x is going to be equal to 4, and x is going to be 1, and then x minus 7 is going to be 1 minus 7, which is negative 6. Or, if you are good with numbers, and you can recognize that there's actually x minus 7 hidden inside this, you can see that 4x minus 7, if you factor out 4, is going to be equal to negative 24, and then you can easily find x minus 7 by dividing both sides by 4, which is going to give you negative 6. But then again, you have to be able to recognize that there is an x minus 7 hidden inside. Now, that's why it's important to get good with numbers, even if I know calculator can solve it, but if you can't see that 28 is 4 times 7, that may slow you down. All right. Which equation has the same solution to the given equation? Okay, another question that can be done in multiple ways. You can open the bracket and then simplify it, or much better, they already actually did the job for us. They factored out 7, and again, if you can look at 63 and recognize that 63 is actually 7 times 9, then your life will be much easier, right? So 7, 2x minus 3 equal to 63, or I'm going to write it as 7 times 9. We can now cancel out 7, and 2x minus 3 is going to be equal to 9. Much easier, probably like 10-15 second question if you can recognize that, but if you don't, then you have to open a bracket. That will still be pretty quick. So 14x minus 21, I want to say 21, yes, is equal to 63, and then 14x, and then to go from this to any of the answers above, you probably have to divide by something, probably 7, right? So 2x minus 3 is going to be equal to 9. Same stuff, but first way, I like the first way because it's much faster. Okay, now let's move on to medium difficulty questions. A company that creates and sells tape dispenser calculates its monthly profit by subtracting its fixed monthly cost from its monthly sales revenue in dollars. So this is sort of like a common sense. To find your profit, monthly profit, you take your however much sales you have done and you subtract your costs, right? The equation 15,000, which by the way represents the profit, is equal to 2x minus 4,500, represents this situation for a month where X tape dispensers are created and sold. Which statement is the best interpretation of 2x? Now, we should recognize what these values actually mean. 4,500 is our fixed cost, 1,500 is our profit, so profit is equal to sales minus costs, right? So 2x, what does 2x represent? That's what we're looking for. Now 2x should represent the sales revenue, right? Because it says we get the profit by subtracting fixed cost, which is C, from its monthly sales revenue, right? So 2x should represent sales revenue. Let's see which answer claims that. So A says a monthly sales revenue in dollars from selling X tape dispensers, which seems like the answer, but let's see what's wrong with the other ones. The monthly sales revenue in dollars from each tape, that's not true, there is no each, this is a total value, so this is no good. The monthly cost in dollars for creating each, again, this is wrong because of each, and plus it's not cost is 4,500, and how do I know it? Because it says it's a fixed monthly cost, so no matter what happens, you owe 4,500, that's your operational cost, whatever the case is. The monthly cost in dollars for creating X tape dispensers, again, that's not it because 4,500 is what's responsible for cost, and there's a lot of things that can go into it. It's not just creating the tape. Well, actually could be factored in, I don't know, rent, utilities, material, whatever. Maybe it's part of 4,500, but that's not what 2x is about. So anyways, the answer is going to be A. If x is the solution to the equation above, what is the value of x minus 3? Okay, another similar question to what we did in easy, in the easy part of the questions. So again, the simplest thing you can do is open bracket, simplify, find your x, and then find your x minus 3, okay? But I'm going to do a bit different. Why? Again, because I see that there's already x minus 3 here, and I can also see that there is a very good potential for this to become x minus 3. How, you may ask? 3 times, if I factor out 2, I'll get x minus 3, right? Minus 11 equals to 4 times x minus 3 plus 6. I don't really need to open the bracket because I am looking for actually x minus 3. So I'm going to move this or subtract 4 times x minus 3 from both sides, and it will be 6 x minus 3 minus 4 times x minus 3, and I'm going to move the 11 to the other side, 6 plus 11. So 6x minus 3 minus 4x minus 3, you can think of it as 6a minus 4a, which is equal to 2a, right? So this will be 2 times x minus 3 equal to 17, and x minus 3 is going to be 17 over 2. Good? Again, you could do it opening the bracket, finding your x, and then doing the x minus 3. Doesn't matter. Whichever one is faster for you is fine. 2n plus 6 is equal to 14. A tree had a height of 6 feet when it was planted. So it's probably like a year or 2 year old, whatever this is, a tree. When they planted, let's say relocated, it's already 6 feet. That's our starting point. The equation above can be used to find how many years n it took the tree to reach a height of 14 feet. Which of the following is the best interpretation of the number 2 in this context? So you can see, hopefully, that this is a bit of a linear equation type of thing. So we have y equal to mx plus b. Now y is 14 here. Mx is our 2n and b is 6. So 6 is our starting point. If you want to think of it as an equation or a graph, this will be like starting at 6 and then every year it will grow. So 2 is basically our slope. N will be the year. So in year 1, when n is equal to 1, this value will become 8, right? Year 2, it will become 10. 2 times 2 plus 6. Year 3, year 4, it will become 4 times 2, 8, 8 plus 6, 14, etc., etc., right? So this is year, this is height. What does 2 represent? The number of years it took the tree to double its height? Not really. Just because there's 2 doesn't mean it's doubling. The average number of feet that the tree grow per year. So that makes more sense because 2 is a slope. Slope is rate of change, right? So yes, and the answer is going to be B. B. Let's move on. Okay, we go to the first question of the hard section. In the given equation, S and R are constants where S is greater than 0. If the equation has infinitely many solutions, what is the value of S? Now, one thing we need to understand before we attempt this question is what does infinitely many solution mean for an equation? So, now this equation has two sides, right? Left side and right side. You can think of it as, fx is equal to gx type of situation. Fx is equal to gx. Now, these are linear equations, right? So you can think of in terms of graphs as well. If you have two lines, let's say one is like that and the other one is like that, and they are intersecting, they intersect at one point. So you get one solution, one x, one y, right? If you have a graph where lines are, let's say, parallel to each other, right, line 1 and line 2, then you get no solution because they never actually intersect. And the third case is, so first case, one solution, second case, zero solution, and the third case is when your lines are actually on top of each other. I don't know how I'm going to show that, but I'll just draw this one red. Kind of think of it as on top of that. And then we have infinitely many solutions because at every point they're intersecting. Basically, that's what it means. So when do we have this situation in terms of y equal to mx plus b? It's when m's are same and the b's are same. Basically, they're same equation. So let's see what we have. 12x plus 28 divided by 4. Now I already see that I can divide everything by 4. Again, getting good with numbers help. So I'll factor out 4. This will give me 7. 4 here that I can cancel out in a bit. S divided by 12 equals to Rx minus 8R. So you can think of it as your Mx and this is your B, right? So let's see what we have on the left. 4 will cancel out. So you'll have 3x plus 7 minus s over 12. Now, why did I put bracket here? Because, again, it represents mx and b. And we have rx minus 8r. So we have two linear equations. And as we said at the beginning, their m's should be same and their b should be same. So for this to have the same m, r needs to be equal to 3. Why? Because the coefficient of 3x is 3. So this one should match to that. So r has to be 3. Okay. If r is 3, then I still have space. 7 minus s over 12 should be equal to negative 8r, which is negative 24. Okay. You move things around and you get negative s12 equal to negative, that's 13 actually. Doesn't matter. 13. This is also 13. And last one. So a negative s over 13 has to be equal to negative 31. And if I have space here, s is going to be equal to 31 times 13, whatever that is. Okay? So that will be your answer for this question. A bit tricky, this one, but again, it goes to fundamentals that when you have infinitely many solutions. You have to be super clear about when you have one solution, no solution, and infinitely many solution. And it makes sense if you actually understand the graph. All right. Hector used a tool called auger to remove corn from a storage bin at a constant rate. The bin contained 24,000 bushels of corn when Hector began to use the auger, so that's our starting point. After 5 hours of using auger, 19,350 bushels of corn remained in the bin. Okay. If the auger continues to remove corn at this rate, what is the total number of hours Hector will have been using auger when 12,840 bushels of corn remain? So we start at 24,000. You can think of it. I'm going to draw a little graph here, but you don't have to, but just so we can actually see what's happening. So let's say we start at 24,000, 24K, and it goes down as time goes by, right? So after 5 hours, for example, what happened? We are at 19,350. Okay, so it's a linear equation, so we can easily find, what can we find? We can find slope, I want to say. And how can we find slope? We know that the first point is 0 and 24,000, right? And the second point is 5 and 19,350, right? So the slope is going to be equal to y2 minus y1. So 24,000 minus 19,350, whatever that is. I want to say 4,000, and then what? 650? I think so. And if we do y2 minus y1, this will be negative, and x2 minus x1, this will be negative. This will be positive, actually. So it's going to be 5. And if you divide that, I think you'll get 930, if I'm not mistaken. 930. So we have a negative slope, and it makes sense because we are dipping down as time goes by. And what do we need? If the auger continues to remove corn at this rate, what is the total number of hours Hector will have been using the auger? Okay, so we know at some point it's going to become 1284. Okay, and we know our slope, 930, and x, this is our mx basically, and we know our b. What's our y-intercept? At the very beginning, when we didn't start, we had 24,000, right? That's it. This is going to be our linear equation, and then you can move things around and solve it. 930x is going to be equal to, I don't know, 11, so 0, this will be 6, and then 1, and then 1, and then 1. I think so. 11,160, and x is going to be that divided by 930. So whatever that is, you can use your calculator. But I think it should come to, I want to say 11. 11 times 30. Whatever, you can use your calculator, I'm not sure. But main thing is, you know, setting up the equation. So I think this is going to be the last question. So a manufacturing plant makes 10-inch, 9-inch, and 7-inch frying pans. Okay. Now I see the answers here. I'm guessing we have to make some sort of equation. So we've got 10-inch, 9-inch, and 7-inch. So 3 different types of pans. During a certain day, the number of 10-inch frying pans that the manufacturing plant makes is 4 times the number n of 9-inch frying pans. So 10 is 4 times more than the 9. So if 9 is n, this is going to be 4n. And the number of 7-inch frying pans it makes is 10. This is an actual value. During this day, the manufacturing plant makes 100 frying pans total. Which equation represents this situation? So we know there's 4n of 10-inch, n of 9-inch, and 10 of 7 inches, and the total has to be equal to 100. So I'll just add them up. 5n plus 10 is equal to 100. Okay, now we don't need to solve it because they're looking for the equation, but if you do solve it, you can find what n is, and then you can find however many pens made per inch type. Okay, but we don't need that here. So I think, yes, that concludes our discussion for today. So linear equations with one variables, 9 questions, 3 easy, 3 medium, 3 hard. Make sure you practice alongside with me. Pause the videos before each question and try them out. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Keep practicing.